Hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Duffy Duck here, and I'm back for some more yet again for the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Sonic Spinball for the Sega Mega Drive / Sega Genesis. So, last time we explored through Lava Powerhouse, and today for this video is the fact that we're going to be moving on to the machine. So, for those of you probably wondering, this is the third level in the game, and as far as the level progression goes, unlike in the other two levels, is that you need to collect, just only 3 emeralds. This level, and especially the final level in the game, which was the showdown, will actually gonna requires us to collect 5 Chaos Emeralds. So even then though that some of the emeralds might be a little bit harder to get, and even then though some of them are pretty easy to get. So even then though that, hopefully I can manage to able to, you know, become quite masterful when it comes to dealing with this pinball mechanics and all that stuff. Now, unlike in the Sega Game Gear counterparts of Sonic Spinball, normally you're able to actually just go through those little particular alcoves, and then you would able to actually go for the, to get the Chaos Emeralds, no problem. But here, you need to be right on into that specific, whole section until you're able to grab it, as you can see here. So even then though, I've got one already. So even then though, that, after that, then I'm pretty sure I might as well, get shoot. Or in this case, got fired by the, during the likes of this little cannon, part right there. So, everything else checks out there. Another noticeable difference between the Game Gear counterparts than the likes of the, this Sega, Mega Drive version is that, as you can see, we got ourselves a flipper lift, which even then though, that way it allows me to actually carry me upwards so easily. So even then though, that, well, it's a lot better than, like, there's too much, flippers during the likes of the Game Gear version, but even then though, that's always as far as you might as well see how this goes. Another major improvement on this version over the likes of the Game Gear version from my understanding points is the forms of, I'm really glad that these little locker, boxes, types of stuff with collision detections involved. The Mega Drive version is a lot better due to how the fact that if you manage to, touch any of this metallical stuff, it doesn't count as like just keep on knocking it. The only time you do need to open the cells is the forms of you have to touch these purple objects. Even then though, or in this case this little purple lockers, and then if you open one at the center, then obviously Chaos Symbol is for you. Unlike the Game Gear version, that it just goes all over the place in the Game Gear version, which I have no idea why how it does that happen. So, but even then though, so far I'm actually breezing for this stage, no problem, as you can see here. But again, when we actually get into the premise of the final level in the game, which is the showdown, this one can get a little bit more complicated, and plus, not to mention, a little bit more difficult at the same time. So even then, wow, I managed to breezily got 4 of these Chaos Emeralds in during I would say over 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So even then, I would expect it to be able to do a speedrun tactics going on here. Well, not exactly a speedrunning tactics per se, but still, it's a pretty good run to be able to get the first 4 Chaos Emeralds. So, but again, in order to actually finish the main levels, that you need to actually collect 5 Chaos Emeralds instead of 3. So, expecting this will happen though. So, okay, so it's not that hole. So I was expecting. Even though I haven't really got into this level until right about now, because even then though, I've heard that at this point is that the level itself can get a little bit more harder than the previous 2. Well, I would say the game is still as hard as it used to be, in my opinion though, because due to how the fact that you're gonna have to be right on with the pinball's luck factor elements. So, oh great, I think I'm actually, no! This means I have to teleport back all the way over there. This is terrific. And plus, it requires me to actually wait until. By the way, if you manage to get onto this little electricity part over there, I could expected you would able to actually bypass those. Oh, come on, jump! Thank you. Thankfully, I didn't manage to. I'm gonna go back there again, aren't I? Yep, I'm gonna go back. Yeah, ultra cool slide. So even then, I would classify as a good comment, but I don't know exactly for that entirely though. But anyway, oh, darn it! Here goes the first step of the playthrough. Yeah, the bottom part of this machine is quite dangerous because it'll actually just make Sonic grind Sonic to dust. So even then, that That's as far as you might expect it. Gears are the most extremely dangerous though, so even then. As far as this point, the game starts to get really challenging as far as you might see how the level layout turns out to be, but even then, it's kind of weird. In the Game Gear version, or the Master System I should say, normally in the 8-bit counterparts, it doesn't show up the gears at all, so even then, it's just basically just plain background with nothing else, so yeah, just be aware with those gears at the bottom, because the bottom part of this machine is easily the most dangerous part about this level, so nothing too hazardous involved in this level, I don't think, besides water in toxic caves, and especially the lava in Lava Powerhouse, and now the gears in the machine, so I kind of like it actually has this, I kind of like this version over a bit more than the 8-bit rendition, because for one thing, it retains the circuit boards, which even then though, that's actually pretty cool design right there, in comparison to how it does in the 8-bit versions, I think. So, I think I get a feeling that the final kill symbol is going to be at the last alcove, so even then I probably need to use that little flipper lift, so just in case it allows me to carry up forward. And then if that's the case, then, well, you know, it just sort of goes just as that. So, obviously, we're actually on the halfway point of the game, but I'm pretty sure we've almost there to the 75% of the time until we're able to finish this game. So even then, though, that, because today was actually forms of, oh yeah, that's the final chaos symbol, as I see. Today was actually forms of the 30th of December. You know, we only got 2 more days left until a new year, so even then, though, that, as far as you might know, I'm actually really excited for this part. So, Animal Prison. Yeah, Dr. Robotnik, you always taunted me for something else, but, hey, still. Alright, so now what we need to do is just find a way to get to the boss room. So, oh, thank you, transport or teleports, for actually leading me there. So even though sometimes teleportation devices can either sometimes lead you to a different route, while other times though it just takes you back to the beginning, like too far back. So even though that can really mess me up sometimes if those of you might have missed it already. But even then, that's mainly because of how the fact that because, you know, pinball mechanics usually comes in like this. So, I know there's technically a Mario pinball game called Super Mario Ball for the Game Boy Advance. And especially noticeable in North America, it also calls it Mario Pinball Land. Which, as far as that game suggests, is that Mario's going to be able to actually transform himself into a ball. And then basically he's going to have to save Princess Peach before the evil clutches of Bowser is going to be, once again, that Princess Peach is going to be a damsel of distress all the time. But still. And then, what do I think about for Super Mario Ball? I've heard from a lot of people out there, they usually kind of hate it for the most part, just because of how the fact that it's kind of a little bit too random, and plus it's downright luck-based at times, but anyway. So here we go, folks, on to the third boss in this game, which is the forms of the Mega Machine. Which, as far as this boss suggests, it feels very similar to how it does it in Road Boy, but except the fact that we need to destroy one of those 2 funnel sections right there, in either these 2 sides at the top of this machine, or the Mega Machine, I should say. Yeah, as you can see that, I don't know how, okay, these are these tubes. Okay, thanks for that. You have to take down those 2 tubes until you're able to actually deal with the main machine inside of it. So even then though that, luckily though, I really don't think you can actually able to deal with those 2 side-by-side stuff. But it's just automatic this time around though, which I found is a little bit more of an improvement over the likes of the Game Gear version to me though, because, you know, sometimes it always checks out there. Can you stop activating the surge, please? Because I just want to get these tubes destroyed first, and then grind for some more extra points afterwards. So, and there we go. Again, sometimes it takes quite a while to be able to actually get all the way up, but still, it just feels a little bit too much for my liking. So anyway. Oh sweet, I got an extra ball. Sorry for a little bit of awkwardness going on due to I sort of don't feel that great, to be honest with you guys, because I'm especially not looking forward to the final level in the game, because I know that some people think that the final level in the game is easily the most brutal Mega Drive Sonic stages we ever conceived of. So there we go, we rescue one of those fleekies out, and hopefully we've been able to deal with the last tube. And before we actually deal with that, before you actually deal with the actual machine itself. So even then, know that, let's just see how this kind of turns out. Thankfully though, this part is really easy if you manage to know what you're doing, because assuming if you're actually trying to keep on bouncing onto this electricity stuff, then you would able to actually just, you know, free these animals normally. So there you go then. But again, much like how it does in the 8-bit version of Sonic Spinball, is that you need to be directly right at the center of this arena, because if you either go to the right side or the left side, then you're going to be bouncing all over the place here. So even then, I suggest to be very, very cautious with that. Yeah, I've already done those tubes, thank you, announcer, so shush. Anywho though, yeah, it's overheating, so even then though that, luckily though, it's completely automatic, so even then though that, we can able to actually hopefully try and destroy this particular Mega Machine, no problem. Oh no! Oh phew, that was really lucky. But at least I got back to the arena, and boom, he's pretty much down. So there we go, that concludes the machine. So, yeah, it's a pretty easy fight, but sometimes, you know, flippers, especially with pinball physics and all that stuff, can take a while again. But still, sometimes it takes a while to get used to with this. So, yeah, now we move on to the third bonus stage, which consists of the March. As far as this level suggests, or this bonus stage rather, is that you need to keep an eye on these little familiar characters, ever since if you ever watched the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon, that, I can't exactly what these, I believe it's called Scratchies or something like that. But even then, I haven't really looked upon the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, to be quite honest with you guys, because normally I just kind of prefer watching Sonic Sat AM cartoon and all that stuff. Well, I've heard of that particular, you know, cartoon is actually really good. But even then, I can't wait to actually give myself a little bit of a chance to watch that. So anyway, I've lost one ball. That's a bit useless. So all you have to do in this particular bonus stage is pretty simple. We need to basically get rid of all of these Hawks there, or even especially noticeable with these Scratchies over there. And at the same time, we're gonna have to keep on hitting the actual capsule itself, or the animal capsule in this case, with not only just with Sonic, but just with the you know, silver metallical ball itself. So normally I was gonna again trying to really showcase off you guys with the fourth and final bonus stage, but I can never seem to actually get it for my own time though, so unfortunately I can't really comment on that. So, well, what it contains in the fourth and final bonus stage is the forms of there's a crab meat that you really want to get rid of, in addition to those little bumper batniks and all that stuff. So that's all I could describe about this final bonus stage. So there we go. I think that pretty much does it for this video right here, so tune us next time on Let's Play Sonic Spinball. It's the fact that we're going to be moving on to the final level in the game, and easily the most brutal levels in any Mega Drive Sonic games, the Showdown. Oh boy. And hey, at least Robotnik's ship has gone away, so let's go in after him. See you guys then. Later, fellas.